Hello you two, we've got ourselves a new part to fix to the car. Right, so what I've bought is this pumaspeed water pump pulley. That comes with a new belt. So that is the size. I'm going to put that on the video for future reference for me if I ever need another one. Now, why have I bought this pulley? Reason being, that pulley is bigger than the standard water pump pulley. Now, the reason pumaspeed sell that is because of a bigger pulley slows down the water pump, it's less drag on the engine, and this pulley is supposed to be around about half the weight, so it's less parasitic drag on the engine, so you can see a performance gain. I'm not too worried about that, and that's not the reason why I bought it. So the reason I've got it is because, like I said, it slows down the water pump. I've been thinking a lot about the cooling issues. Even though we've got it under control, it'd always be nice to get it better, and we still could experience hotter days. So anyway, with a slower water pump at high RPM, it may work better. I've got a thinking that maybe the water pump is suffering from cavitation at high RPM. I don't know, it's just a guess, but I see my biggest temp increases, say at high RPM above 6,000 now. Is that because the engine is just working so hard? It's working at its hardest. It might just be because it's generating the most heat, or is the water pump running faster than its efficiency? The standard RPM of a Fiesta, what is it, 6,300 RPM. I'm revving to 7,000 soft limiter, hard cut limiter 7,001. I'm spending a lot of time above 6,300, which is what the car was designed for. So when you think of a road car, is it really designed to be up to 7,000 for long periods of time? I don't know. The water pump could be spinning just too fast, so slow it down. This is something I done on a previous tracker actually. I put an underdrive pulley kit. It had the bigger water pump, and it worked. I had that car run fine. I've read a review online, someone in America who done this. They didn't see no downsides to the cooling, so I don't think we're going to have no negatives. It can only be positive, but like I said, don't know if it's going to work. If it works, we'll find out. We're going to open park in a few days, so that'll be the test, and we'll see how it goes. Now, I also bought one of the lower thermostats, but I don't think I'm going to fit that today. And that's purely because I don't want to run into issues taking the thermostat housing out, and we're close to going to a track there. I want to keep it simple, so the pulley is a lot more simpler to fit, less to go wrong, less problems to pop up last minute and cause me issues. So I've been a little bit busy yesterday. As you can see from this mess, I really need to clean this place up. I just ended up chucking all the tools in here yesterday. Got to sort it out. But anyway, done some stuff on the car. So if you remember in the last video, I was saying the back end's a little bit low, especially under braking. Now I do a lot of trail braking. So as I was trail braking, I was feeling the back end coming out a lot, which is abnormal. It hasn't been doing that. I suspected it might be something to do with the brakes. So I bled the brakes yesterday using carbon line fluid. Now I had to get this from Godspeed Brakes because I'm local to them. Never had no issues with that fluid. And what my thinking is, after taking the pads out, there was more wear on the driver's side, and only one of the pads was worn more than the others. I've got no sticking pistons, nothing like that. So what I think it is, because I haven't bled them since I fitted them, which has been almost a year, and usually after most track days I do a bit of a bleed. I haven't with these because they've been running fine, but I think there must have been a little bit of boiling that's happened in either side of the caliper. And maybe that one side was just working harder because that was the best one. That's my theory. So what I've done is new pads, new set of RPX gone in, bled the fluid, so that should hopefully put it back to it, because it used to brake in a straight line like an arrow. I could anchor on the brakes with that EBC kit and it was perfect. I knew something was off a little bit that day, so I think that's where it is. Just needed a bleed. I've left it go too long, a little bit overdue it was. So yes, let's get started putting this pulley on. Right, so with the headlight out, you can see that the pulley is pretty easy to get at there, but I know from past experience that they don't want to come off because they sort of trapped in the position because there's not enough room here against the cross member. Now we may have to slacken the engine mount, move the engine around and to get it out, but we're gonna see. Now I did read the guy in America, what he done was he prized the engine over, but I have filled this mount with tiger seal, so it's a lot stiffer than it was, so I don't think the engine will move over, and I've done the same on the gearbox mounts as well. So we'll see. We'll get it undone. First of all, slacken all the bolts where we got the tension of the belt on the pulley, and then we'll take the belt off and go from there. So I'm going to use a small little ratchet spanner, and then we'll just get in like this. It'll be a bit fiddly. Just done the one, and it's hard doing it one-handed, but the pulley will slightly turn. Get enough on it, you can crack the nut loose. And this one does a mono. There you are. So I've worked my way around them all, get them undone, and well, slackened, then get the belt off. Right, so now we gotta slacken off the tension, and now that's spring loaded. As you can see, I got a 70mm spanner on there. If I pull that towards me, see the belt slacking. So what you want to do is pull that towards you, and then pull the belt off the water pump pulley, because all the others are ribbed, so the water pump pulley is the easiest one to slide off. Now I'm going to need both of my hands for that, but we shall get it done. There you are, that's slipped off now. Doubled up on the spanners, and then stretch one hand up over the top. Right, so the bolts are all out of the pulley, and here's the issue. Now it gets stuck like that, doesn't want to come out, so I think if we wiggle it there, we're not far away. If I can get a little bit of engine movement, we may be able to get a wiggle on, because that's pretty close to dropping down. It may come out that way, so let's see if we can lever the engine across. If not, it's going to be undo the mount and push the engine across. Right, so I can't seem to get no wiggle on that engine, so I'm going to pull the bottle off here, take that top bolt out, and hopefully the engine will just push across a little. Right, so I've just got this jack bar in there, and I think if I pry on that, we may get it to go. So let's see what we can do. Right, so my biggest worry here is catching my fingers at the same time. It's not coming out easy, but I think I can slide it back that way to see. I do not want to wedge my fingers in there. It's not easy. It's definitely not easy. Right, I'm thinking I might jack the engine up. Alright, jack's under. Let's see what we can do here. I don't know if this is going to work. Nope, that doesn't help much, but I tell you what would, if that mount wasn't in the way. Still doesn't want to come out right, so I'm going to have to, I don't know, see if I can pry the engine up a tad more. I really thought it would come out with that. It is so close. That was harder than I expected, I'll be honest. And I don't know how easy the bigger one's going to go in. Right, so here they are side by side. You know, it definitely is a weight difference. I think that one's half the weight of this. This, you can tell, it's pretty sure is steel. And this one is Ali. Yeah, this is like a feather in comparison. So hopefully it will just slot on, but I think we may have to fight there. Right, this, oh, I think this one shouldn't be too bad. Yes, actually that was quite easy getting at him, but I've got the engine jacked up quite a bit. Right, let's get him bolted up. Right, so we nip these up best we can, and then we'll tighten them right up then when the belt is on. 'Cause at the moment, see how free that spins, and that's why it's always best to undo them before you take the belt off while it's got a bit of tension on it. What I'm going to do now is do the belt while the mount is off. This can be a lot easier. Let me show you the mount though. I never actually filmed this, but when the engine was getting swapped, I filled that up with Tiger Seal, so that is a pretty solid mount now. Squeeze it out of that hole, out of there, just clean them off. But yeah, just move this around, put a big bolt in it, wiggle it, and stick your nozzle right down till it fills up. And then the Tiger Seal is just a polyurethane, so you can see, I mean, it's not as hard as hard poly bush, but to firm that up, it's done the job a treat. Right, so it is, belt is on. Now that's not the easiest to do on your own, but with a bit of a faff, I got it done. Also, the other thing I forgot to tell you, if you decide to do this, right, you're looking at about a week for that to go off, so just bear that in mind. Your car, you won't be able to drive for a week, otherwise it will just squidge out everywhere as you're driving. But anyway, what I'm doing now, start putting this back together, and then I guess give it a test drive. Right, so that's everything back together. Fire it up now, see if it works. That's it, belt's all running through. Works. Well, it's all finished. I've done a test drive, and there's not much to report really, because it's quite a cold day today. It's 13 degrees outside temp. So yeah, I took it for test drive. Temps are still getting up in the 90s, which you would expect anyway, where they should be, because we haven't done a thermostat. But yeah, test is going to be on track. We're at Alton Park in a few days, but I think it's going to be raining. It's possibly going to be cold, even if it's not raining. If it is raining, so it's probably not going to be the best test, but it's the time of year we're coming to now, isn't it? So there you are. We'll soon find out in the future what it's going to do. So hopefully you've benefited from the video, and thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Bye. Oh, just to add as well, I know I'm going to get asked, no, there isn't any feeling of extra power because of the less parasitic drag or whatever it is. I'm not going to fall for that. It's not going to make a difference, but yeah, it's not why I bought it anyway. But just thought I'd add that in because I'm going to get questioned on it.